Heads up, eyes open, and fists clenched. Y'all know who this is and how we do this. It's Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. coming to you live and direct, revolutionary love and respect. Weekly program of the Black Panther Party Cubs, hosted by yours truly, Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. and Robin Allen, a.k.a. the Lady of Rage. She might be tuning in with us a little late today, y'all, but again, in the spirit of making history, taking history, and taping history, y'all. We live at Intellectual Radio. Let's get right into it, y'all. We talk the political climate is hot. We got a lot of things to go right into. We on Clubhouse. We at Intellectual Radio. We on Freedom All Radio. We on Street. We on Instagram. We on Facebook. So let people know we locked and loaded, y'all. That's what it is. Been a crazy day for us, y'all. Crazy day, man. Crazy times though. But keep your head up, eyes on the fist clenched. I hope we still got some. I hope we are still honored to have some of the Clark family online. We're going to bring them right in. Just the birthdays, we acknowledge the birthday, fallen comrade, Defense Captain Mark Clark. Defense Captain Mark Clark out of Pryor, Illinois. For those who don't know, you got to know. You know what I'm saying? Phenomenal force. You know what I'm saying? Phenomenal comrade. Clenched fist salute for Defense Captain again. Defense Captain Mark Clark. Long legacy Defense Captain Mark Clark. You may be familiar. You know what I'm saying? We can never forget December the 4th, 1969. Defense Captain Mark Clark was assassinated along with 21-year-old Chairman Fred, 4:35 a.m. in the morning. So let me know if we got the Clark family in. We're gonna be moving and grooving. Y'all forgive me. We coming in a little late, a lot late. There's so much stuff that's been moving and grooving though. So, Sister Curry, do we got the Clark family still online with us? Hey, sister. Well.
Chairman, I don't know. I would need them to push 1 to come into queue.
Press 1, y'all. Press 1. Forget.
They're on the line.
I know this shit. They had to go to work too. I had them on for man.
Put them on. Call it 309.
37.
Yes, Elmer Clark online.
Is she on?
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's the Clark family?
Yes, this is Elmer.
No, right on. Okay, right on. Forgive me a delay. I talked to Bridget earlier. First and foremost, let me still, you know what I'm saying, love and greetings. Y'all know we connected. You know we ain't talked in a while. Miss y'all, love y'all. If you can, just give us who you are, and we don't draw no foregone conclusions. You know what I'm saying? We talking about I think we 2 days post the birthday of Defense Captain Mark Clark, if not correct me on that date, and those who may have yesterday, right on. Okay, so
yeah, December 8th, 1947 was his birthday. Mark Clark, my brother, and I certainly want to say to you, Chairman Fred Jr., I thank you for recognizing the commitment of Defense Captain Mark Clark and remembering him on his birthday, and just keep the work going, and I thank you very much for that. I'm not feeling the very best at the moment, so I'm not going to stay online probably the duration of the call, but I'll stay on for a while.
We appreciate that. We appreciate that. Quality time outweighs quantity time. And so, you know what I'm saying? Again, we don't take it for granted or devalue the importance. The fact that we have the Clark family here. Again, for those who are just tuning in, those who may not be familiar with the history, again, this is a phenomenal. The Black Panther Party, again, let me put this in context, which grew to be an international organization. Chapters throughout the world, largest chapters being the state of Illinois, and the chapter was Illinois. Again, many people get it confused, and sometimes I hold my tongue just to see what terms people say. It's kind of like a telltale sign what they know and what they don't know. We on Clubhouse also, y'all. So, they can hear me on Clubhouse. Are we on Clubhouse? We in Clubhouse too, y'all. Tuning in. We in Clubhouse. Illinois was the branch. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Excuse me, scratch that. Illinois was a chapter. Illinois was the chapter. The chapter of the Black Panther Party. Again, was founded October 15th, 1966 by Minister U.E.P. Newton and Chairman Bobby Seale. And again, it grew to have chapters throughout the world. You have various branches, so Rockford, Champaign, Peoria. A lot of people hear P-Town, and it's a lot of history come up out of there. You know, though. In fact, I was just commenting yesterday about comedic genius Richard Pryor, who was heavily impacted by the Black Panther Party. And unbeknownst to me, in fact, Illinois, in an event, we was there to commemorate Defense Captain Mark Clark a few years back. The brother was giving some history about Jean Baptiste Point du Sable. Yeah, John Baptiste Point du Sable. Yeah, we got Tara Stamps in the building with us too. Daughter, y'all, Marion Stamps. I know y'all know the history of Cabrini Green. You know what I'm saying? Hey, y'all, we got her in the building with us right here, live and direct. Jean Baptiste Point du Sable was another. Ironically, anybody in Chicago in particular should know who this is. But Jean Baptiste Point du Sable, a long battle for him to get his recognition, know who he is. One of the first, I'm gonna say, we like to reference it this way: first non-native inhabitants. We have an issue with this when someone discovers something, but so it came to be known as Chicago. Was a trader, and unbeknownst to me, just a few years back, he come from his wife Catherine was from the indigenous community, but he was a trader down from Peoria. Point
du Sable actually was one of the early residents of Peoria. He lived in Peoria a number of years, about 8 years prior to coming and settling on the Lake Michigan area and he started a settlement on Lake Michigan, which later became Chicago. And he is known as the founder of Chicago, but he lived in Peoria prior to that.
Now, for those who
he has a very extensive background as an explorer, a trader. He also he just had an extensive background. A Haitian-born black man who was educated in France. His father was a ship captain, and his mother was an African woman who lived in Haiti during the time when they had the riot in Hispaniola. And his mother was killed in the riots in Hispaniola. History says that he swam out to the ship where his father operated the ship, and his father took him back to France and educated him. So he came back to the United States in the time when all of that area in the Midwest was being settled. He came along like with the early settlers, Joliet and Henry Cabot Lodge, all of those different settlers, and he settled throughout not just Illinois, but through Michigan and various other places. But he's known in history as the founder of Chicago. But we had him first, Chairman.
Right on. Yes, indeed. We gonna and that's for those who listen outside the Illinois area. How far is Peoria from Chicago? About how far?
Peoria is about 150 miles from Chicago. There are a lot of less known facts about Chicago. Let me tell you something. Peoria is really not that close. They got him, Mark, listed he's listed in the Hall of Fame here. And matter of fact, they have a kiosk downtown with him. But we also have some other interesting people, like I said, Richard Pryor, who came from Peoria. And Richard Pryor knew Mark because he was a friend of one of my other brothers, Matthew. And another thing about Richard Pryor, in the aftermath of the assassination of Chairman Fred Hampton and Defense Captain Mark Clark, there was a public outcry across the nation And Richard Pryor was instrumental in generating interest among some of the celebrities. And one of the celebrities who also took a stand along with Richard Pryor, demanding that they do and have a special inquiry into the death, was also Paul Newman. So, those are just a few other facts that people may not always know. Everybody didn't stand on the front line, but many people supported the cause, and many people supported the call for justice.
This young comedian right now, present-day comedian DC Fly, a phenomenal. I know the youngsters. When I see DC Fly, you know about his name. He's it's a phenomenal podcast they got called 85 South, and DC Fly, DC Young Fly. In fact, he came out, got a lot of notoriety around it. That wilding out with Nick Cannon. Then when they pushed Nick Cannon to the side, there was discussion about bringing him, and he took a principled stance. DC Young Fly said, "No, I'm not going to take the stand. Nobody brought me on. I'm not going. I'm not going to take that spot." But he had recently at the Area Crown Theater in Chicago. He had came on stage, and he said, "I got that Black Panther Party Cub feeling." And he said, "I'm having flashback from December 1979. So we thought he had the dates mixed up, but actually he had correlated when Richard Pryor had acknowledged Minister U.E.P. Newton, December 29th, 1979, in the audience. And he had brought me on the stage this past at the Area Crown Theater, DC Young Fly. And just a flashback also, comedian genius Richard Pryor, who was heavily impacted by the Black Panther Party. It's a story where he met Chairman Fred on New Year's Eve, I forget what year, and he talked about he gave a donation to the Black Panther Party. And I'll put this in context, these type of entertainers that, you know what I'm saying, the ante was up, you know what I'm saying? It was a climb where the dog wagged the tail don't wag the dog, streets make the music don't make the streets, and whatever you was involved in, you was honored to say, how can I support this, as opposed to vice versa, as opposed to people looking at these entertainers say, how can we support you, the entertainers, how can we become involved in the struggle? And I think it's also, again, those who just tuning in, we got Eleanor Clark, and we're talking about some history of Peoria. I'm glad we put this in context, because when we talk about lineage, I think it's important that we don't have a reactionary assessment. People just pop up out of vacuum. When I say certain names, where they come from, it's important because, you know what I'm saying, because the state studies that. They say it might be something in the ground, something in the soil, certain locations. We were just talking about Deputy Minister of Defense Bunchy Carter recently, and how a lot of them came from, Louisiana, Chairman Fred, Minister U.E.P. Newton, so on and so forth. So I wanted to kind of set the tone, so what type of soil we looking at, in regards to Peoria, and, what forces, came there, and what's that connection happened. And a lot of times people just have to make the answer that, how they say in church, what's your calling? And again, Defense Captain Mark Carr, down in Peoria, Illinois, that's one of the branches. Again, one of the branches. And this December 4th, 1969, this is one of our September 11 stories that the day in which two of our twin towers, quote unquote, failed. Two of our twin towers, quote unquote, failed. They were assassinated December 4th, 1969. But prior to that, give us some insight. People, when we talk about Defense Captain Mark Clark, how do people, how was he viewed? How many siblings how many siblings were there with the Clark family? His organized, what was that, that thing, that dynamic about him?
Okay, so now, Mark and I are 18 months apart in age. My parents had 17 children. And so Mark is number 9, I'm number 10.
Mm-hmm.
And so growing up, we were naturally a close family. But Mark, in terms of his personality, always had a social consciousness. I remember as children growing up, and the content on the television was very limited. Typically, they had the Western stories, and then always the cowboys and the Indians, and of course they had the story skewed. But Mark wouldn't allow me to root for the Cowboys. He gave me information about the Native American history. I didn't, things that I didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
Mark said early on in life, he says he doesn't do the pledge to the flag. He said because it's fake, and he says Columbus didn't discover America because America wasn't lost.
Hmm.
There were people already here, and so he, even at a young age, he had a good understanding of life, and he had a social consciousness about himself. And so, in the aftermath of, back during in the 60s, and during the Black Power movement and the civil rights movement, almost every black person was, committed to, in some sense, to bettering ourselves. And Mark participated with the civil rights activities as a member of the NAACP youth organization. But he just became a little bit disgruntled with the nonviolent approach, not so much the nonviolent approach, but the constant the constant disrespect that was accorded to black people. And so he wanted to see some action, especially in the aftermath of Emmett hanging, and the aftermath of Medgar Evers' death, in the aftermath of Martin Luther King's death, and Malcolm. All of that happened back to back, and so it left a lot of young black men very disillusioned. And he was looking for something a little more intense. And so when he heard about the Black Panther movement, a friend of the family that lived in Oakland came to Peoria and had some Black Panther newspapers, and he started espousing the Black Panther 10-point platform. And so Mark became very excited about that and participated in the meetings with them. And so then after that, Mark decided, he came to Chicago and he affiliated himself with the Black Panther movement and started the first Black Panther chapter in Peoria, and actually served as an organizer in some of the smaller cities like Bloomington and Rockford, various other smaller cities, distributing the newspapers and educating the masses about the Black Panther organization. So he was committed. He was committed to the Black Panther organization and its ideals. So he told me, I remember he told me just maybe a week before they were assassinated, and I was concerned about him because they were always applying the pressure and trying to shut doors and up the door to the breakfast program that he started, and instigate rivalries. And so the people were afraid to participate. In fact, the pastor who allowed him to start the breakfast program at the church, his parishioners closed down the breakfast program and got rid of that pastor. And later on, we found out that much of that was at the instigation of the government through the FBI COINTELPRO. It was all part of their systematic plan to dismantle the Black Panther movement, and in fact, all Black Power movements, and assassinate their leaders. So they had been putting pressure on them, trying to arrest them for petty things like selling the newspaper. And I was worried about him. I said, Mark, I'm concerned about your safety. And he said to me that he knows that they're not going to allow him to live. He says, I know they're not going to allow me to live. They're not going to allow me to live. But he was committed to the movement. So then he went to Chicago, and he had been there back into Chicago at various functions and political education classes and what have you. And so the night before, they vamped on and killed him. And said he had talked to my brother on the phone, and my brother said that he told him that he didn't feel right about this informant. He just said that O'Neill was an informant. He says, and I don't trust him. And he told my brother, he says, but I'm not going to leave the chairman.
You know.
And he stayed there and stayed on his post, and the rest is history.
Let me tag team with you for a minute.
To that extent, here we are 50-some years later, still talking about it.
Yes.
And but one thing did happen. When in the aftermath of the assassinations, and they just assumed that it would just be some more Black people that they had killed, and it would be a done deal. And they didn't clean up the act.
Mm-hmm.
There was no yellow tape, y'all. They didn't close they didn't close the apartment. They didn't do a real ballistic. They left things in and then people started coming in from all over, and they could see that it was a shoot in. That's what it was. It was a bloodbath. It was Panther shooting back at them. And they demanded that there be an independent investigation. So I was at the coroner's inquest, and the lawyers for our family asked the question directly to the state, saying, is this affiliated with the COINTELPRO program to suppress the rise of a Black Messiah that is also connected with the death of Medgar Evers, Dr. Martin Luther King, and Malcolm X? And the state said this: we decline to answer that question on the grounds that it is detrimental to national security. So that question was posed by our lawyers 3 times, and 3 times their answer was the same. They declined to answer the question on the grounds that it is detrimental to national security. So that was the first time that it was publicly stated that their death was a part of the COINTELPRO program. And as a result of that, a few years later, some activists acquired the actual records from one of the FBI field officers that documented that fact, and they exposed it to the public. And also, the and it resulted in the dismantling of the COINTELPRO program. So now, through freedom of information, that information is supposed to be available. But if you go in through the freedom of information, you look on the FBI, you look on the COINTELPRO records, they have pages and pages and pages of documents that are supposed to be freedom of information, but it's all blacked out. Much is blacked out. But even some of it is still visible. I could see some of the documents where they stated that, first of all, when they went in to do the raid on December 4th, they did it obtained a search warrant under pretenses, alleging that the Panthers had illegal weapons. But the judge granted them this search warrant, but they didn't serve it correctly because they just broke in. They didn't knock, they just kicked in the door. But they lied because on some of those FBI documents, and it takes days, it takes a lot of time to go through all of these documents. But I saw the very document that said on the document that they had been informed that the Panthers had some weapons, but they were not illegal weapons. Because during that time, it was legal for you to have a shotgun, a rifle, or even a handgun in your and at that time, you have to have a FOID card. That was before FOID cards. So when we look at what they did back in 1969, we can't look at it through the lens of 2022 because it was legal for a person to have weapons. They were not illegal weapons, and they had no reason to believe that the weapons were, taken from the police. So they lied. And so that's what they did. They falsified information, and they tried to cover up information. They lied about information, but they were eventually exposed. They exposed for what they did. None of them actually faced any punishment for the wrong that they did. Now, I will tell you this, Chairman Fred, in case you didn't know it. A lot of them, God has his own system of justice. Because some of them committed suicide. Some of them, their children never spoke to them again in life. The wives left them. All different kinds of things occurred when a lot of this information started leaking out. That doesn't bring your father back. It doesn't bring my brother back. But here we are in 2022. It's 22 years and some months. 22 and a half years later, 52 and a half years later, and we're talking about it.
Yes.
And it's like the shock that went round the world.
Yes, indeed.
And the thing that makes this very significant is because that brought attention to all of the other raids that they had been conducting on the Panther headquarters and the injustices that they had been committing against our comrades that had not been given the proper notice. So I say this is that freedom ain't free and justice is not just.
Right on. We live and direct, y'all.
That's my story of revolutionary respect to all of the sisters who have taking a stand. Because we don't know everybody's story. Mm-hmm. We will never know everybody's story. But many of our brothers, are still in prison.
No doubt.
Still in prison because of the, you know what I mean, falsely in prison.
Mm-hmm. Free movement.
So, that's what it is. So, I salute you, my brother, and to all those that are listening, we got to continue to press the claim.
Yeah.
And Mark used to say, my brother Mark said, nothing happens without pressure.
So you're right.
A flower cannot blossom without pressure. Nothing come out of the faucet without pressure.
So you're right.
And we're not going to get there without pressure.
So you're right. It goes without saying, we're gonna say it anyway. We love you. We love the Clark family. We appreciate y'all. I hope y'all listen live. And this again, we are honored. You know what I'm saying, again, have one of the sisters of Defense Captain Mark Clark. We have been connected. While you talking, I'm just flashing back. You know what I'm saying, the countless times. You know what I'm saying, regardless how cold it is, December the 4th. Clark families, so we've been side by side right there at that ground zero. And I'm not talking about New York. I'm not no slight. I'm not talking about September 11th. I'm talking about December the 4th, 2337 West Chairman Fred Hampton Way. I'm talking about every August 31, how hot it is. We've been side by side. We going down to Pryor to touch down with the commemoration. These forces should not be forgotten. You know what I'm saying? That gotta be a stain in your brain and a mark in your heart. Literally the commitment. You know what I'm saying? These, as the term role models. These are actually real models. People we can identify. You know what I'm saying? Minister UEP Newton told me there's a difference between a revolutionary and a hero. A revolutionary engages in an act. You say, wow, you really can't relate to it. These forces came from our community. Again, I was asking certain questions about the distance between Pryor and Chicago to let people know and put this in context. So they'll know, when she was saying something about, because a lot of times we talk about certain things and a lot of people, you don't put it in context. We talking about pre-cell phones, pre-social media. You know what I'm saying? A commitment to, to say, okay, I'm she said, duty bound. This was not a ragtag group of cats, my friend, my buddy. When I say this term, Defense Captain Mark Clark, the Minister of Health, Ronald Doc Satchel, Chairman Fred Hampton. This is a structural, and to say he as Minister UEP Newton said, the revolutionary knows that death is imminent. It's forever looming. You know what I'm saying? I remember a struggle I had with one of the leadership of one of the major street organizations in Chicago. And this about 30 years ago, and we talked about it the other day. He had said something to the effect of me. He said, man, you crazy, man. That's why he said, you crazy, somebody down for the people. I said, yeah. I said, niggas down for cars, drugs, strips. You say something wrong with me? I said, man, you can't kill cats like us. You know what I'm saying? As Chairman Fred said, you can kill a revolution, but you can't kill a revolution. You know what I'm saying? And again, the legacy of Defense Captain Mark Clark and so many others provided a prototype, a template for cats can say, man, to be able to relate to. You know what I'm saying? So again, we up, man, and this is imperative that we able to go back and just go back and dissect the discussion we have here with his sister, Eleanor Clark, even as a child, this thing to my how you couldn't really say, man, that ain't no hip thing. I'm not relating to the Cowboys. You know what I'm saying? And it's something, I tell you, Stephen Biko of the Black Conscious Movement said, black people in particular must grasp the ability to distinguish intelligence from the ability to articulate. Black people in particular must grasp the ability to distinguish intelligence from the ability to articulate. Deal is we got to up the ante to be able to politically sum up these contradictions. However, something that's innate in us to say, wait a minute, man, I just can't see this cat y'all talking about Columbus discovering this here. I can't relate to terms like Indian giver. You saying he just gave the people, gave the land, I can't, you know what I'm saying? Something in people's minds say, ain't no white dude riding around on no sled with no reindeer just dropping toys down, you know what I'm saying? Something, you know what I'm saying, the longer we get, people come and they put these intellectual monkeys around us to say, make that make sense, you know what I'm saying? The Black Panther Party provided a politic to be an analysis. That's what, you know what I'm saying, we to sum up why are we going through the countries we're going through. A lot of people actually believe we're going through because some of us Virgos or Aquarius or Capricorns, you know what I'm saying? A lot of cats came, but the Black Panther Party said, yeah, we subversive, we up front. An armed propaganda unit, you know what I'm saying, putting it in correct political context. What's going down? This is done by, you know what I'm saying, why the infant mortality rate is disproportionate in our community as opposed to other communities. And provide an international I can't stress that enough, y'all. An international phenomenon that shook the world, you know what I'm saying? And not at the horse's mouth, but at the pig's mouth. You know what I'm saying? It's a show called Gaslight. You know what I'm saying? They're talking about a former attorney, John Mitchell, and his wife, you know what I'm saying? But read between the lines. The COINTELPRO, counterintelligence program. J. Edgar Hoover, the former director of the FBI, said the Black Panther Party had to be destroyed by the end of 1969. Those are surgical, strategical strikes. Who they hit, when they hit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Under the Trump administration, I forgot the guy in Iraq. They say they had a missile. He come at the airport. They had a missile. A missile come right soon. He come at the airport, hit him, go through his security, hit him. They say, man, was this? They said no. They say they had his profile from years back. They knew they had to hit him. They study us. I'm talking about like a dogmatic dog breeder. They know who is who. You know what I'm saying? And again, that you look at the time period. Is what Lenin of the Russian Revolution said, that what people can learn in 2 years of ordinary times, people can learn, what they learn in 20 years of ordinary times, they learn in 2 years of revolutionary times. And the Black Panther Party shook the world again. It's mandatory that we know about to be able to relate who these forces are. We love you. We appreciate you. Give us any contact information, any updates, events coming on. And you know what I'm saying? Again, get a whole family I love. And clinch fist salute. And again, those who don't know about this, y'all a day late. But again, make sure y'all, amen, happy birthday and long live the legacy of Defense Captain Mark Clark. So, hello, any contact?
I thank you so much, brother. I thank you so much, brother. And I want to say this also. I was happy to see on Facebook that they had located one of the Nazi war criminals. 90-something years old, almost 100 years old, they're gonna find. And I saw it on Facebook, and somebody has the nerve enough to send me a note saying, get over it. I lit him up. Do you hear me? I lit him up. And the reason I'm bringing this up is that that's the kind of tendency that we have to have.
Yes.
To stay on top of it.
Gotta believe it. Yes.
Press the claim.
Yes. We gotta have memories like the Kenyan elephant.
And I seen that I was reading when I got the text from my daughter Bridget. I was reading about the Holocaust and how many of those war criminals were allowed to escape and how they escaped and who helped them escape and the countries that they went to. But they had some people that tracked them down, okay?
Yes.
And so that's what we got to do. We got to stay on it.
So you're right.
We
right
got
on.
to stay on it. We got to continue to press the...
Right on. We love y'all again. This live and direct. Eleanor Clark, get a whole Clark family y'all love and respect. You know what I'm saying? Love and respect. Right on. Brother Quabner, nephew at fallen comrade defense, Geronimo Jogger, he just tapped in on Facebook Live. Right on. Love you, brother. Right on. Long live lineage, man.
Okay.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Again, get the family I love. Y'all again, those just tuning in. Again, that's Eleanor Clark. Y'all said 17, and I'm talking about again. And I'm thinking back, I'm talking about events, man, James Clark and so many other. I say that system, that same system that was responsible for dividing us, you know what I'm saying, really brought us back together. And this is like family to us, you know what I'm saying. Again, the Clark family, you know. And so again, y'all make sure no colonial borders, you know what I'm saying. No land or water can divide us up again, man. Long live legacy defense of Mark Clark. Yes, indeed, we live and direct, man. I think we got Steve online. Steve, bear with us. I want to commend Steve. Steve down in Louisiana, Monroe, man. Yeah, Monroe, Quab. You know what I'm saying? In fact, that's what, man. Fallen comrade, the Minister of Defense, Geronimo Jog and others. Was it Monroe also? Yeah. And Norman Richard gave me some other history about. I didn't know so many people came from down there. But y'all seen me. I was kind of going through a thing this past Father's Day. I didn't get to make it down to the tombstone of Chamber Free, and that I was cut. You know what I'm saying? We went the whole thing about the rent a car, the plane, all that. But God bless the child got his own. We getting that cut. We getting that van. We gonna be rolling. We gonna make up for it. But I'm saying, Steve on the command. I think he's online with us. Bear with us. No. Cub with us. Don't bear with us. Cub with us. he got some updates for us. But again, we came in late, so we kind of moving on a political pivot. Man, the picture of him down at Chairman Fred's tombstone, man, I'm speaking personally and politically. It was inspirational. Thank you, my brother, man. So bear with us. We're going to have to follow up on, you know what I'm saying, get you on. I know you online with us. Steve, clench fist salute. I want to say I'm self-critical to brother whose show just one of our posts been on this show too. I've been going through a thing. We've been going through a thing. Long story. We here. We moving the groove. If you can't go across certain state lines, you don't, you know what I'm saying. Don't you know what I'm saying. You don't let people know you're going. Cause we ain't set tripping. We might get a call from Ghana. You know what I'm saying. We went from behind the walls. We moving and grooving. You know what I'm saying. So if you tripping, like, I can only stay on the west side. I can't go here. You know what I'm saying. We giving you historical analysis that transcends gender, geographical, and generational lines. Let me run over to you one more time. Gender, geographical, and generational lines. In other words, you might say, I just want to talk about the 60s. I just want to talk about this day. I want to hold fast. Just keep me to the east side. We come from Pryor. We float. We moving and grooving, y'all. Hey, I just talked to Eric Monte. I'm trying to get back to Eric Monte. I just talked to him twice a week. This the brother who created Good Times. You know, Eric Monte. He was in a homeless shelter. Now, Google, check him out. Phenomenal force. This man, Good Times, Cooley Handsome, you know what I'm saying? Man, Curtis Mayfield, they come from some historical stomping ground. For those who don't know, y'all, they're Cabrini Green. You know what I'm saying? And I catch you in Chicago, you know what I'm saying, which is infamously referred to as shot right now. Man, Cabrini Green, that sword, I'm just flashback going over there. It's so many, for lack of better terms, war stories that, you know what I'm saying, that went there, you know what I'm saying? And that was one of the major hits with the quote-unquote gentrification. It was really the land grab, you know what I'm saying? How they made that move over there. You know what I'm saying? In regards to Cabrini Green, it's a major hit. You know what I'm saying? Eric Monte, we work on getting him on here too. But speaking of Cabrini Green, y'all. Speaking of Cabrini Green, y'all go back, you know what I'm saying, do the historical flashback, and you know what I'm saying, Marion Stamps. You know what I'm saying? We go back like even some days, you know what I'm saying, even prior to this, but something in particular, the peace treaties and stuff. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? On this term. We try like everything in political words. And I'm going through some struggles with the brother. He probably listening right now. And this ain't no personal slight on him. Just even getting a video flyer, a commercial for this event we doing. The words and terms it ain't for no slick soundbite. We didn't have peace treaty. We struggle for tribe truces. You know what I'm saying? Like I talk about a lot of these cats. I talk about like these youngsters growing up now. They be saying, right? They be saying gang. You know what I'm saying? You're like gang. Those are fighting words in a certain period of time in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? It was offensive to say, man, Cass was in the gang. The street tribes. You know, so go back and go Google some of the old graffiti in Chicago. You seen stuff like the BDN, BPSN, CVN, Nation. You know what I'm saying? And it was on the heels of the Black Power movement when Annie was up. You know what I'm saying? Because the worst gang in Chicago Police Department, y'all. Sister Tara Stamps in the building. Love and respect. Welcome.
Welcome.
Give us a little background. Give us a little background. Give us a little background. Who we got here? Give us a little background. Who we got here?
Am I good? I'm good. Okay. I'm Tara Sharon Stamps. I'm the fourth born daughter of the late Marion Queen and Zinga Stamps, who hailed in Chicago by way of Jackson, Mississippi. And my mother was a activist, a leader, and a whole lot. And this coming August, I think make 26, 27 years since her transition. And my sister girlfriend, Crystal, knew that I was trying to link with you. Someone had asked me to do a project, and I said, I think it's out of order for me not to talk to this brother. I need to kind of talk to him about this. And so here we are.
Yes, indeed.
Right? So that's who I am. Shout out to all my sisters, like biological. And then Gwan Tracy for that injustice. And then all of those people my mama raised. List is too long to kind of mention. Shout out to Helen Schiller. Some folks you know, I'm sure. And so that's kind of what brings me to this space. So thank you for welcoming me into this space. I appreciate it.
Right on for you being here. Sister Curran, give me a heads up. I know we got Steve on deck down bed with us, Cub with us. Take us down. Take us like this is this quote unquote this gentrification, which we like to we refer to as a land grab. People see like the grass down State Street and all this, but if you can't kind of help us visualize, you know what I'm saying, when people hear about even I mentioned Good Times earlier. The Cabrini Green project, Cabrini Green housing projects, and all that, and what and the unique and the relationship that marriage, the moms had.
Like you actually hit on two different aspects of a historic community.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to say respect and ashe to brother Eric Monty. There's another brother, for whatever reason his name and he's a disabled veteran, but he's been trying to bring the true story of Cabrini Green to the light for a while. Mm-hmm. Not as a caricature like Cabrini Green and stuff like that. And if I had my phone on, my sister would probably call and give it to me. Justice, call and give me the information. I know you somewhere around because you're always on Facebook. So
right on.
Justice, this is Sharon. Give me the information. All right. So that being said, my mom had 5 daughters. My mama came up from Mississippi right after Medgar Evers was killed because my mother was one of the youth involved in Medgar Evers when he was trying to desegregate the public library. And when Medgar Evers was killed, my grandmother and grandfather said, "You got to go, Marion." So they put my mama on the bus and sent her on up to Chicago where her older sisters were. When my mama came to Chicago, she had a baby on her hip and one in her belly, my 2 elder sisters. And so we were early residents. I shouldn't say early residents because what a lot of people don't know is that Cabrini Green was actually a wave of the building of 3 separate housing projects that came together as 3, right? Mm-hmm. And before the erection of what we now know as Cabrini Green, it was actually an Italian/Irish slum, right? Jenner Elementary School, which was built on the soil of Cabrini Green, was one of the first schools in the city of Chicago to actually be integrated. Because you had black folks who had moved over later when they were tearing down some of the buildings, but you still had the vestiges of the Italian and Irish community over there before they went and resettled what we now know as Little Italy, which is over there on Taylor, which was another housing project over there. Okay. So you had what was the white buildings, the red buildings, and the row houses. So you had Cabrini, and then you had the Green homes. Together, those made Cabrini Green. Each of those buildings had a very separate and unique identity. Each of those developments had a very separate and unique identity. The red buildings had a separate and unique identity in the red buildings.
Red buildings.
You know what I'm saying? The white buildings had a very separate and unique identity. They had a different nation identity. They had different leadership.
Yeah.
They operated differently. And what made my mother so unique and so revealed and so loved in that community is that she had a relationship with not only those brothers in the nations, but also their families and their children. And my mom was the only person, to my knowledge. So if I'm wrong, Gwan, call me and tell me I'm wrong. That's my other sister. That had a successful tribe truce in the city of Chicago while she called together all the brothers, the leaders of the nation. One of the problems that's wrong with our young people now, they're running around like the lost tribe of Judah. They don't have no leadership, right? My mother understood and raised us under leadership and principles as a member of the Black Panther Party, as a woman who operated the kitchen and the breakfast program, as a young person who grew up in People's Community School, who had to go through that instruction and that teaching. My sister and I was having a conversation just the other day, actually totally aside, we was talking sorority stuff, and she was like, "They just not like us." I said, "We ain't like nobody." It's like only people who like us are other people who was born of other activist, leader, revolutionary types. Yeah. If you're not born of that, then you really don't really understand it, because it's just a kind of it's a different kind of society. It's a different rearing. You see things differently. You hear things differently. You analyze differently. And it's really not to be compared with anybody else who did not come up under that same upbringing. So we did, right? We went to the Shule Yawatoto over on the west side. We grew up under Brother Hannibal. We never pledged allegiance to the flag. I mean, my earliest memory, we never did that. So when they started taking these, that was old hat to us. That's like, we never did that. Yeah. But at any rate, back to Cabrini. So a lot of people are only aware of the land grab of Cabrini Green. They're They have a limited history. And they believe it was all a part of this new plan to gentrify Cabrini. Nothing could be further from the truth. Cabrini, like other public housing developments in the city of Chicago, was actually the brainchild of the first Mayor Daley. And it was a part of the Chicago 21 plan, which called for the end of public housing by the 21st century. So when Daley the son actually came into leadership, he was actually just fulfilling the legacy and the wishes and the plan of his father. It was nothing new about it. Cabrini Green stands out in our minds not only because it has a celebratory kind of history with, Good Times and Candyman, right? So it has that, but it also comes with its own kind of branding, right? And it also comes with this proximity to the lakefront. And so when I was coming up, we would call where I grew up, which was Cabrini in the near north, Sedgwick, Evergreen, where black folks lived on the near north side, the Soul Coast, and we was divided by one street. And we call that the Gold Coast. What a lot of people also don't realize is that the Gold Coast was not always the Gold Coast. The Gold Coast actually used to be a slum, used to be Skid Row. Back in the late 60s, early 70s, it was prostitutes all up and down State Street in Michigan and over there. People don't realize that because that whole change in kind of modernizing what we now see as the Loop, as what we now see as downtown, as what we now see as the Magnificent Mile, that actually happened as a result of the very earliest TIF money, which Harold Washington started, which that money was used for blighted communities, and he started with downtown. That's how downtown got the makeover that we see now. So anyway,
the TIF, we talked about this before. Y'all still riding with us? The tax increment funds, how again, it's like a lot of contradictions, like affirmative action. Black people faces were put forward, then other people, other entities, other communities, particularly the white community, they come get the benefit from it.
Absolutely.
So the tax increment fund we seen over there in was 47. What's that there?
Bronzeville,
Canaryville,
Canaryville.
and Bridgeport. You go
All
look
of that.
Yeah, you go look at them houses. How them poor white people got all them beautiful houses? They use black people as the poster child. Then when the TIF money came down, went in their hand.
And if you are native Chicagoan, which not a lot of people that you see are, right? So you kind of got to be a native Chicagoan to remember the projects that used to line the expressway. You go down to Dan Ryan, and there was projects from 19th all the way down to 56, 60th.
Largest stretch in the country, I think. Yeah.
All the way down, right? And if you take that same ride now, you know that those buildings no longer exist. The only homes that are still there are the Hilliard homes. Which is a part of
City Home now,
right?
Yeah.
Which is a part of CHA. Also, one of the things, and I'm sorry if I'm kind of like overlapping stories, but it's so intricate and intertwined. But a lot of the properties that you even see now, you're like, oh man, those are beautiful. All of these redeveloped homes and condos and all that was actually built on CHA property, right? And so my mom, again, before my mom died, my mom was pushing two things to black folks, right? And two things. My mama said, and Lou Palmer had a video, audio of her saying this on VON. She said, "Beware the voucher systems in education." And she said, "Watch out for this gentrification plan on CHA property." I mean, I can't even tell you how many meetings I went to with the guy who was the chairman of CHA at the time. We got old videos and mama and us sitting in meetings and all that kind of thing. But what she was saying was the properties are coming down. My mama knew, and people who are visionary are kind of frightening, right? I'm gonna say my mama was visionary, and she also had the gift of sight. She was before her time in many, many, many ways. Not unlike a lot of your father and many of the people that we're amplifying and lifting up in this space. And so my mama said, that fight is over. These buildings coming down. She had started telling them that in like 92. She said, these buildings coming down. No, they ain't marrying it. She said, these buildings coming down. These buildings coming down. These buildings coming down. What the fight is, 1-for-1 replacement housing. What you mean, Mary? we got to sue CHA. We got to sue CHA for replacement housing. And a lot of when you think that visionary, like when you that far ahead of people, you scare folks, right? People don't know how to really react in that when somebody speaks with such authority about things that have not happened yet, right? Mm-hmm. But there was a handful of women who they just rolled with my mama, right? Marion said it, we believe it, we gonna do it. So my mother sued CHA. And when the building started coming down, right before my mom passed, and then the rest of them started coming down. Buildings started coming down in like 94, and the last ones came down in the early 2000s. And the last of them to come down was the white buildings, actually in a very ironic kind of deep kind of way. The last building to come down was the first building my mama ever lived in when she came to Chicago, which was 1230 Burling. Mm-hmm. And the only reason that was the last building to come down is because my mother had told them years ago, y'all should figure out how to make this a co-op. So there was part of that building that was actually co-op. So they just couldn't tear it down.
When you say co-op,
co-op is mean when there's some ownership of the tenants. The tenants can, like, it's no different than a condo, except we call it a co-op. So there's collaborative. It's a communal kind of thing where we all put our money in together so that we could buy these units up. So there was some of those units who was actually co-opted. So that building was a little bit different. It was a little bit more difficult in bringing that building down than it was the other buildings because of the tenant right. My mother, when she came to Chicago, she started the Chicago Housing Tenants Rights Organization, CHTO. So my mother was about education. My mother was about education and understood that knowledge is power. And was only when tenants in Chicago public housing understood that even though they were public housing residents, that they still had rights. That's how she was able to move and move an agenda within Cabrini. So 1230 Burling was the last building to come down. But there was a small group of women who did sign the lawsuit for CHA. And when the first units were put up, those were the only families that were moved into units. Mm-hmm. Many of those families never were able to return to, as a matter of fact, 90% of those families were never able to return to what we know now sits on that property. The row homes in which the second Candyman was shot, right? Mm-hmm. So the first Candyman was shot in the Red Project. The second incarnation of Candyman, which was your boy Jordan Peele, I see a picture up there, was in the row homes. The reason that the row homes are there now is because the row homes, the tenants demand that they get historic status. The reason that the row homes have historic status is because the row homes was initially built for veterans. That's why they look like barracks. Mm-hmm. If you go and look at them, they look like army barracks, quite honestly. Mm-hmm. And they was built for returning white servicemen who was coming back from war, who needed spaces for those families. A lot of people look at the row home and they're like, oh, they so tiny. But actually, those places had like 4 bedrooms, had a park. They had a grassy playgrounds in the back. They had laundry room. They were really, really well outfitted for families.
Hold on 1 second, sis. Comrade, jump in. We riding. We ain't gonna stop the car. We cruising. If Brother Steve can jump in real quick, gonna unlock the door. Jump in. Is he riding? We pull up on you. We ran past Louisiana, ran past Monroe. If he can jump in real quick, we riding. You close? Door open. Free them all. You there? Free them all. We ain't stopping for no stoplights or nothing. Man. Yes, sir. Ride with us, brother. Take us real quick. You know what I'm saying? We rolling. Give me. The scholars. Who we got in the building?
You got all the scholars in the building waiting on you.
Oh man, the scholars in the building. Listen, we ain't just riding no 2-seater, man. It's a passenger plane. We riding, man. Take us, man. Listen, take us down. Okay, I just missed this Father's Day down in Haynesville, Louisiana, where Chairman Fred is buried at. The police shoot up Chairman Fred's tombstone every year for those who don't know. And it kind of hit me. I didn't get to make it to this Father's Day down there, man. It kind of cut, but hey, that's the dynamic about structure. We were represented down there. Steve, if you can, what happened down there? Give us a brief update real quick down to Haynesville, Louisiana.
Man, everything looks lovely down there now, man. The concrete came out right. Everything just looked good, man.
Those who don't know what we're talking about, y'all, the tombstone where Chairman Fred is buried at, Police go down there. They don't need no flyers. They don't need no. They go choose the tombstone up. We had a big internal debate on how we gonna deal with this here. A lot of people, in fact, you know what I'm saying. I mean, little Bobby Hutton niece, she probably listening to this. You know what I'm saying. And her thing was like, let's get a new tombstone. I said, no. I remember this in 1996. I was in Galesburg prison. I said, no. I said, one, we ain't got the resources. I said, hell, but we don't relate to the Emmett Till tactic. Let the world see. You know what I'm saying? What they doing this here. So we came to a point of unity. We get not a cover, but like a see-through casing. You know what I'm saying? We organized to get that. We're going to commit all the forces that came through with that. Y'all heard that gun salute last year too. They wasn't playing no games. Shout out to all the forces that came down there. And again, I'm still I ain't step right, missing it, but we were represented. I appreciate you. That's Brother Steve on that flyer with that Cubs shirt on, covering it out down there, covering it out, man. And down there in Haynesville, in the backwoods, I got stuck down there before. Man, we was stuck down there overnight in the mud, that clay dirt down there, that red dirt down there, and the comrades, what we gonna do? I said, man, listen, we stayed all down. I said, we stuck, get my cigar, we finna kick it with chairman, and the rest of the fallen company, we right in this cemetery. We stayed out there for a while, and I'm so, man, I mean, you don't know how that picture hit us. It was a hard hit. HARD, man, appreciate we coming down that way, man. And y'all, man, hey, I'm gonna get you back on next week. We got so much stuff. We talking about the Roe versus Wade. Got so much stuff we gotta talk about next week, though, man. But I just want to get you on real quick, man, to say because a lot of our comrades were kind of demoralized that we didn't get down there. And it hurt. But again, certain places we cannot be physically, but we're gonna be there politically, y'all. We're gonna be, you know what I'm saying, and we appreciate you, brothers. So give us any more words you want to give us. Give us.
I just want to say I want to just thank you for what you're doing, man, because you are inspiration to me also. Been an inspiration to me because you went out here in the streets, you doing your thing. And I respect it and I love it. And if you need me to do anything down here, you just let me know. You got my number, whatever.
Right on.
So I'm down for you.
Right on. Well, I'm gonna tell you, like I tell Spurgeon Jake Winters' cousin all the time. He said, "Chum, you doing your thing?" No. We doing our thing, man. And the spirit is still shopping, still, and men and women shopping, men and women, man. Revolutionary love and appreciation. We thank you and appreciate you, man. You know what I'm saying? Let me cut back. Okay, keep us posted. We need you back on deck next week, man. It's so much stuff happening, man. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get back to, we riding, y'all. Haynesville, Louisiana, Streetport, you know what I'm saying? Louisiana, that red clay dirt, man. And again, we represent it, man. I love and appreciate y'all. Brother Steve, y'all, clinch fist salute. That's him on that flyer. You know what I'm saying? The candidate, man. Because I know Chairman Pryor, like, okay, where Chairman Pryor probably said, where the Cubs at? Where y'all at? You know what I'm saying? We be like the clockwork. Man, we represent it, man. You know what I'm saying? Again, revolutionary love and respect. Right on, my brother. Free them all. Free them all. Okay, my sisters, we grooving. We flying and we rolling. You know what I'm saying? We crossing state lines and everything. Man, we ain't pulling over for nothing, y'all. We back in the greens. We rolling. We down the countdown. And it's this Saturday, y'all. Food giveaway at the Wall, Madison, California. Triple C's, I think 2:00. Big food giveaway. The Black Panther Party Cubs are coming. I mean, massive food giveaway. Massive. Then we work on the big Hampton House cleanup, July 16th. Larry Roberson, don't forget, fallen comrade Larry Roberson, y'all. August 30th, the Chairman Fresh Street Party going on, y'all. So keep in tune with that, man. Y'all see I get back to the house too. I'm going through a little thing too, man. Long story, but when the Hampton House hounds, man. It's a long story, man. I'm trying to resuscitate one of them puppies. That's another story. But sister, bring us. Okay, this we gonna put a comma, not no period. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna definitely get you back. Get you back on here with us again. So tell us, give us some context on what you got going on now.
Well, right now, real quick,
Yep.
Let's see what I want to say. My sister Guana and my sister Justice ran the Marion Stamps Youth Center for many, many years. My sister Justice is still actively running the Marion Stamps Youth Center at a Manir Elementary School on the near north side. It's very difficult for us to leave that land. But my mother did have love in her heart for the west side. So, people who leave Cabrini come straight west. So that's where I am now. And what I'm trying to do, if anybody understands my voice, had a relationship with my mother, have a story with my mother, I'm just collecting stories. My goal is to pay her respects. I feel like her spirit just all on me, won't let me rest, live my life, do nothing, because her story needs to be told. And so if anyone under the sound of my voice do have a story they want to share with me, I'm recording all stories of all interactions, big and small, with my mother, the late Marion Stamps. You can contact me at Tara, Tara Stamps STAMPS, the number 4 at gmail.com. So that's it. Long live the Queen.
Give us that contact again for those who didn't hear it. One more time, that contact.
Tara Stamps, number 4 at gmail.com.
Right on. I know we with intern posts come on okay, they just came to check us out. Okay, right on.
I have some questions.
Okay, give us some questions. You post give us a touchdown on the next week. We can follow up on that. Y'all know so much of stuff is happening. You know what I'm saying again, but the fact that we having these type of conversations, because mind you, it's a time when people told to suppress it, don't talk about it. You know what I'm saying?
Can I just say one thing?
Come on with it. Yeah, come on with it.
I just like pardon. This has been on my heart a lot. America is on a collision course with itself. America is on a collision course with itself. And dear black people, get prepared. I don't know what's coming, but something is coming. And anything that has ever happened in this country has not served our people well. So if that means get prepared in terms of your FOID card or your whatever, this is from my daughter, Najida Shakira Jones, who's been on this for 4 years. She's been like, Mama, get that. I'm now planting the garden. I always liked having my hands in the soil, but I'm saying this on a real tip. Go to YouTube University, go to Google, plant you a survival garden. Get in survival mode, dear black people, because something is coming. When they overturn Roe v. Wade, if y'all don't think we are looking at the undoing of America, if you all don't think that in a minute, if y'all sleep, we will not be handwives' tale, this will be the handmaiden's tale, you all are asleep. So America, again, in my heart, is on a collision course with itself. And black people, none of this means us well. So protect your own. Prepare.
You know what? With that, I want to only reiterate too, y'all. We got to tighten back up. The say the Hampton House Community Garden we had going over there, y'all know it's under attack. We're gonna restate this. The say the Hampton House Community Garden. That's a real good point. Club, hey, and just real what you say about America. Hey, what's one play Cookie and Empire? To Tazari P. Henson. She now Cookie said the empire fucked up. It's fucked up. She say she want to get about this country. You know what I'm saying? Rihanna said she only raised a child here, and I just said to myself, I don't want to raise a puppy in this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Speaking with y'all see me go live earlier, man. If this puppy survived the house today, I come back, this little motherfucker got in the bucket of water, man, floating, drowning. So we trying to bring him over back to life. If that puppy survived, we keeping that motherfucker. Cause boy, hey man, close call. We gonna turn the clubhouse to Panther Clubhouse. Talk to me real talk. What we got?
So, you and Tune, if you haven't already, hop up at the top, join the house, become a member. Urban.
He gonna come in looking. He gonna be y'all talk fast because he gonna come looking at me kind of funny with my time.
Are you off the mic? Who did you boycott today? Are you off the mic? I'm ready for your question, love.
All right. Okay. Come on.
Hold on 1 second.
I don't think you can be heard.
Hold on. Let me get you in.
All this take. Hey, if we come down to.
And you are live. Who? Go ahead.
You can't. We can't hardly hear them. Yeah.
You can't hear.
No. You put it.
There you go.
Okay, hold on. Okay.
I'm gonna get you live. I'll do this.
Okay, okay, hold on. So,
I'm sorry.
Hold on one second. Repeat it.
We good. Go ahead. You good.
North Carolina. My name is Aqualand.
Okay, how we looking? We can 5, 10 minutes. Good. Okay, one more. Forgive me. I hear a question. I hear the question.
Go ahead. Who?
Okay, yes, I will repeat the question again, sir.
Thank you.
Hello, how you doing this evening, Mr. Chairman Fred Hampton? And rest in peace to your father, and every blessings and peace to your family and loved ones. And thank you for your commitment and sacrifice for the revolution. My question is, what is your perspective on Black Americans' pursuit or objective of liberation and or separation?
Let me preface with this. First of all, thank you and thank you for your call. Let me preface with this. I like to set the premise. Like I relate to, I relate to is Malcolm X in the sense that I'm identified as one of the victims of America. So I say that not for no slick sound bite. You know what I'm saying? I say that so to put in context the historical nature how this country's always get down without our people. Minister UEP Nunes said without there's a difference without what I would say what I want to do, what we can do. It'd be idealistic. Like I was fortunate my first time in my life. I just came back from Africa, in this past December, and the deal is, as you know what I'm saying, we have to fight for what Minister UPN referred to as liberated territories, and that's important to put that in context. A lot of people they seen places like Cuba and other places or different locations as these are places that we're free. But the reality is, long as imperialism is in place, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, they still have the power to enact, embargoes, you know what I'm saying, or straight out attacks on different locations. So the reality is wherever we at, because a lot of times people get to, I'm gonna go over here and you know what I'm saying, get this place and we free. I'm gonna say my own house. And I can be like similar to like in Chicago, which infamous referred to as Chirac. A lot of people downtown say, "Well, I'm gonna move away from the crime areas. And the deal it spills over. So even even we talk about separation, wherever we go, you know what I'm saying? The politics of U.S. imperialism. When I say the politics of it, I'm talking about you got. People, the self-hatred about how people are trying to get the bleach in the skin, hating themselves. That's surpassed. That transcends the colonial borders of America. You know what I'm saying? The type of drug usage, the fentanyl. You know what I'm saying? So this politic, it's like when they in Russia when they talk about they tear the wall down, you see the dynamic. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden they talk about grandmothers, white old ladies in Russia selling crack. You know what I'm saying? And now people ask me, say, "Do you think it's life on Mars?" I say, "I don't know if it is or not, but I say I know one thing for sure, two things for certain." They probably up there saying, "Listen, man, please, Mr. White Man, don't come up here because next thing you know, you come up here, you're gonna have drive-bys, overdoses, all that comes with imperialism." So I think to go to the heart of the question, we should fight for liberated territories, but at the same time remain ever vigilant, recognizing that, you know what I'm saying, that we are under attack wherever we at, you know what I'm saying? Because imperialism, as Field Marshal George Jackson said, it's a parasitical politic, it's a parasitical economy, ain't no making deals with it. As Malcolm X talking about the tapeworm in your body. Ain't no saying, okay, tapeworm, what about, you know what I'm saying, you stay on my left side and I eat on this side. It's, you know what I'm saying, that's the nature of the beast, you know what I'm saying? Go and get down. And a lot of people end up, they can't have no support because they similar to a lot of these different entertainers and people who got money. They say, I'm gonna get my resource, I'm gonna move to Calabasas or whatever, cook up with the Kardashians, whatever, and become disconnected from the community. Then when he hit that ass, as we say, he turns more than me black. All of a sudden, we gotta come together now. You know what I'm saying? So the deal is, we want to remain consistent, even though we might get some concessions here and there. Certain things, but always remain forever vigilant of, you know what I'm saying, we got to have, you know what I'm saying, fighting for self-determination. I hope I was clear with the answer.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next will be Malachi. We're not in the building, so we're going to Kentucky. Kentucky, got the floor.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, family. Chairman Fred, this is Kentucky. Thank you for coming on. You got to come back more and talk to us.
We look forward to it.
I'll just hit you with two. First order of business. We've been covering the Emmett Till case in my club for about 3 months now. And not covering it, but just kind of reviewing the books, going over the transcripts, that type of conversation for about 3 months in my club. I just got a notification that the relatives are maybe trying to dig back into that case. I was just going to ask you, do you know anything about that? And this is a two-part question. I know that you're really tight with Wheeler Parker.
Yes.
Is there any way that you can get Wheeler Parker to come into my room? We've been the only club on Clubhouse that's been actively researching the Till case and the confessions of Carolyn Bryant. Is there any way we can get Wheeler into our club just to talk to us? And we won't ask him nothing that he's not comfortable with talking about.
Right on. Just those who may be just tuning in, just we are honored to have a connection with the Teal family. Actually, on my paternal and my maternal side, I speak about the coincidental, the fact that my grandmother on my maternal side, she stayed on 64th and St. Lawrence, and the house returned to historical landmarks on 65th and St. Lawrence. But Argo and it's close to Maywood, and then I've been fortunate to contact with Wheeler Park and others, with the Teal family, and as you said, they are fighting to bring a lot of the Carolyn Bryant. For those who are not familiar, that's the white lady that that really was a spark. That made the accusation against young Emmett Till. And to go to the heart of your question, yeah, I will reach out to Wheeler Parker to see make that happen. And it's something that maybe on YouTube interview we did a while ago. It was real. It was phenomenal. But we definitely follow up on that. Definitely. So we'd be honored to reach out to him for the clubhouse.
And I appreciate you, Chairman. And I followed you. And the second question I had, there's a book coming out regarding Mayor Daley and David Barksdale. My question to you, how much do you know of the pushback that Mark and Fred got from the black folks, the gangs, and the community as a whole? Do you know if that's true, that there was pushback against your father and Mark?
I just had a phenomenal march about a month ago, and ironically, we had some real, for lack of a better term, some sons of guns out there, So it's this hell of a DNA, you know what I'm saying? Mr. Larry Hoover's sons is out there, David Barksdale's son, and just it's a picture going viral. One of Jeff Ford Chief Imam Chief Malik, his son, and some other. There's a picture. We some dialogue, and this is done in the spirit of the ongoing Rainbow Coalition that Chairman Fred had authored. And the Black Panther Party Cubs, we still have that, the Rainbow Coalition, and that's something that a lot of people are not familiar with. They acknowledge the role of the other nationalities, but Chairman Fred organized. We'll be all day talking about the war stories and the respect. I'm talking about even the representation at the funeral services. Now from the Blackstone Rangers later became the Black Peace Stone Nation. The Devil Disciples later renowned themselves to become the Black Disciples. And Vice Lords, and you name it. Even by the federal government's own account, they say when the Black Panther Party was in existence, there was a record low to what they refer to as black-on-black crime. Yes, there were some contradictions, you know what I'm saying? Again, but again, I'm saying this on all humbleness, the relationship, that Chairman Fred was able to, win these various forces to some point of political unity to relate to, a lot of people to commit what we say is a revolutionary act, you know what I'm saying? And distinguishing, not trying to put them in absolute to become revolutionaries, you know what I'm saying? And I'm pointing out because a lot of times people come with some romanticism, like, they're going to change, they're going to drop their flags and all, and I'm flashbacking to a discussion, since brother Big Law, Lawrence Lee, you know what I'm saying, who the Chicago Sun-Times themselves say was assassinated. You can Google it. You can Big Law, Lawrence Lee, a.k.a. Lawrence Law. As a matter of fact, it's a song I did in honor of him. It's on YouTube. Type in Chairman Fred Hampton Jr., the Big Law. And we have even renamed him Little Bobby Hutton, in honor of Little Bobby Hutton, who was assassinated April 6, 1968 in Oakland, California. And I remember politicizing this brother, Big Law was with the Black Disciples, and I remember politicizing him. And I remember we was talking inside one of the cells, you know what I'm saying? And he was like, man, it still not trying to take away his respective signature, you know what I'm saying, what he related to. And this is so that's important to know, because a lot of people, even when you talk about coalitions, a lot of people try to come in, they try to take you and take away your self-determination. That was not the case, you know what I'm saying? That's not the case. But again, that relationship is ongoing. And I recommend you check out that piece that I did. I can't, even with that song, that piece, I kind of go into the history. Even, you know what I'm saying? And ironically, it's a clip, you listen closely, it's a clip I took out of the Cooley High movie, which Eric Monte wrote, and they was in the movie theater and said, Disciple, that's in there. Inside the song I did, the Big Law, who, again, in Chicago Sun-Times themselves say, was assassinated. They talk about, you know what I'm saying, they mentioned the cartels involved, all that. But to go back to the heart of your question, yeah, I mean, that phenomenal. And we done that. We had the tribe truce at the Chairman Fred Hampton Rural House on 5409 South Halsted. I recall Kessel was making bets, $1,000 bets. This is 1990. In 1990, they said, man, ain't no way hell Chairman gonna have goddamn disciples, the vice lords up here. Man, for you know it. We had, you know what I'm saying? Man, you had the vice lord disciples, the Cobras, everybody up at the Chairman Fred Hampton Rural House. We know we capable of doing. You know what I'm saying? We don't romanticize this. There's some contradictions. We had to, you know what I'm saying? When I was held captive, locked up, man, it's a joke they make about me right now today about in the prison. They said, man, Chairman Fred, he go to the Muslim service, Hebrew service, vice lord meeting, disciple meeting, stone meeting, and still come out Chairman Fred. So that, you know what I'm saying, that dynamic of it's an art to it to be able to talk to these brothers and sisters and win on certain points of unity without, you know what I'm saying, trying to gut them. You know, it's a book called Up on Madison Down on 79th Street by John L. Rice, talks about the documents. In fact, pull some of the documents where the FBI had approached the vice lords and told them they would get them 16th Street if the Black Panther Party couldn't open the free medical center on 16th Street. Chairman Fred subsequently won these brothers and sisters at some point of unity. They subsequently worked at the free medical center. You've seen the Devil Disciples, they became the Black Disciples, the Free Breakfast Program. Again, the Black Stone Rangers took more of a national stand, the Black Peace Stone Nation. And you know what I'm saying? And this is the real deal formation, the Rainbow Coalition, which to this day, it's still happening. Now, you know what I'm saying? I just come back from Seattle with the indigenous community, you know what I'm saying? Tiny House Warriors, when we were standing around North Dakota, you know what I'm saying? With the Black Panther Party Cubs. If y'all don't believe me, go when they locked them up, the native indigenous people, in their trials. In their court papers, I'm talking about a few years back, they brought out each chief of the native people saying, didn't you meet with Chairman Fred Hampton Jr., the Black Panther Party Cubs? You know what I'm saying? So this deal is, so it's still going down, to go to the heart of the question, it's still happening.
Thank you so much, Jim.
Thank you. Okay.
It's on the floor. Ask your question, bro.
Oh, I got a good update. They see the puppy coming to get my puppy. What that question coming up, y'all? No, what that question coming up? Forgive me. Everything political. Hey, look. I come in the house. This puppy is floating in the water. Big old bucket of water. This puppy ain't about 5 weeks old. Floating. I mean, swole, cold. And it's the puppy I've been checking this puppy out. I said, you know what I'm saying? Like, it reminded me of the mother dog's name is Rebellion. Man, I'm rushing, I grab the dog. I said, what the hell is that? So I don't know how I get up in the bucket of water. This today. I grab the puppy, you know what I'm saying? That's my stress relief too, y'all, because I get tired of doing a lot of these cats. Let me go deal with these dogs. I grab the puppy, man. I'm going to say, oh, man, they lost it. I'm trying to get it's cold. Mother Comrade on the phone, my A1 from day one. Mama Cool and Jay on the phone. She called, so I got to go out the bam, you know, the dog. Man, she hit back, man. We tag teaming. She on the internet telling me, man, get the dog, push, hang it up, grab the hind legs. She read in there. So this is I'm saying this. one lady said, you call your mother Comrade? And that's my comrade, you know what I'm saying? Everything political, you know what I'm saying? And it's to move in sync like that, man, you know what I'm saying? So again, I'm comrade, the field marshal just told me, I let her leave the house, I said, man, that puppy, that's my stress relief, I be hanging them dogs, man, so when I get back, I say, I'm gonna snap on that dog, then I'm gonna keep that dog. I say, I'm in that damn water. But go ahead, call in, Q. I'm gonna name that damn dog Survival.
On the floor, you got your question.
Hey, Ron Tracks in the building.
All right, what's the question out the chat? Then we ask it for him.
Y'all say your appetite for Saturday.
Anybody else Madison, a question on the floor?
Yeah, anybody else? Yes, hi. Greetings. I have a question, but first, thank you for your father's amazing sacrifice. I had no idea for a while how young he was.
My brother, I'm live on the air. I'm hit you right back, my brother. We live on the radio right now. I love you. Yes, sir. Yeah. Right on. That's that's who just called in. Matter of fact, he call back in. That's Brother Bible, Mr. Larry Hoover, co-defendants. He just get out. He was sent his life. If you can, call back in the show. That's him just called just now.
All right, Go ahead with the question.
Come on, Truth Seeker.
Hey, should some African Americans make the move away from America, just like maybe some Black, British, and French should leave, since the nations don't seem to be changing, and possibly go to Africa or another land that might give us more justice, freedom, liberation, and all the things that we are supposed to get?
Well, I really can't speak. I really in a position to speak what the African Americans should do. I can't, you know what I'm saying? I relate to more the Africans, victim of America, you know what I'm saying? So I'm cut from the cloth, as Malcolm X say, just because a cat has kittens in the oven don't make them muffins. In other words, you know what I'm saying? Well, so again, so the mindset, some people might get confused, say, you know, African American, you know what I'm saying? Man, they get kind of twisted, the slave and slave master, but I'm a victim of America. So again, we do relate to repatriation. In fact, Marcus Garvey. I missed this. August 17th, Marcus Garvey birthday coming up. Who said Africa for those home, those abroad. We talking about doing an international move, y'all, all over the country by August 17th, making that a date, and we're going to call him a pardon for his case. You know what I'm saying? For Marcus Garvey date. I definitely relate to repatriation. You know what I'm saying? To be, you know what I'm saying, Africa, the home of our people. But this the land. This the land that the native man. This the house, the land stolen from the native man, built by the black man. So in fact, we look for us soon. Go look at Tiny House Warriors, the indigenous community. You know what I'm saying? Comrade Conus and others. We, you know what I'm saying, they still battling right now with so-called Canada, getting down. So you know, we unite with the fight for them about this being their land, and we gonna say, but we definitely see repatriation about us being able to go back home. But this we can still. I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? There's respect that we can be in different places here, but this dynamic. I think we should. Our mindset should be clear that who we are too. Because I mean, Africans, victim of America. I was in elementary school when the teacher said something like, she said, mankind destroyed the earth. And I said, what color man? What are you talking about? What you mean? I said, what? Don't be throwing that on us. What man destroyed this? You know what I'm saying? So you got to be real clear about that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, you're not going to walk up on no dead body claiming it. You done that. You know what I'm saying? Just be very clear, distinctive, you know what I'm saying? Our relationship and who we are. You know what I'm saying? Of course, we've been impacted by imperialism, man. But that go to the heart of your question. I still ain't, man. I just had some African food yesterday, man, and I'm connected. Right, I'm still connected to home. But that's the homeland. We need a homeland. That's the homeland.
I got one question for you, Mr. Children. What's your perspective or your take on people being able to carry guns in schools legally?
What's my take on people being able to carry guns legally in school? That's a question. Teachers.
Can I answer that as a 25-year teacher?
Okay. The sister tag team with us right now. Tara Stamp, she said she want to jump in. Hold on 1 second. Okay. You can't.
This is a free call from.
You see this?
Incarcerated individual at.
This the prison call right here. I can't make this up. This. Hold on.
And monitoring. To accept this
See, I tell you.
press 1. To refuse this free call, press 2.
Okay, how you?
If you would like to permanently block your number from receiving.
Be aware, any attempt to add a third party to any call from Illinois DOC will result in inmate disciplinary action, and the involved end user's phone number will be globally blocked from future calls from all Illinois DOC facilities.
Thank you for using Securus. You may start the conversation now.
Real man, free them all. Hey, I got you on speakerphone live on the air right now, man. Hey, you got captive audience right here, man. You tell people to get the one prisoner, one contact, who they can write. You know what I'm saying? What's going on there? You know what I'm saying? I know we ain't talked in a while, but I mean we've been going through. But I know you've been going through it too. Anything you want to say that to our audience? Like need some help or contact you or anything?
Wait, I missed the first part.
You live?
What did you say?
Okay, man. I said you live. We live to the people. You got the people listening right now as we speak. You feel me?
Right.
anything, update on. We had the One Prisoner, One Contact campaign. You know what I'm saying? That people might want to. You might need some assistance with some correspondence working on your case updates. You give out the name and ID number so people can say how can anything in particular with the One Prisoner, One Contact. You want to put a call out to the people while we got the people listening right now.
Okay, well look, my ID number, my name is Sims Bay, N32707. You know what I mean? And I'm fighting the habitual. You know what I'm saying? And
Fighting the what?
I'm fighting the habitual.
Okay.
Basically, it's a UUW.
Okay.
You know
Basically, which is what? I want to use this to politicize our audience too, though. I mean, we know unlawful use of weapon, but ironically, you calling in, it's a discussion, a question just pop up. See, a lot of cats get engaged in what we call, Chairman Fred called intellectual masturbation. We turn the community into the classroom. You know what I'm saying? A lot of cats, they deal with 9 to 5, and you know what I'm saying? They understand why Chairman be late. You know what I'm saying? Man, you can't plan this. You know what I'm saying? The question is probably just not. Okay, so we want to have a reciprocal relationship with those held captive to the outside community. You know what I'm saying? We need people to help work on these cases. You know what I'm saying? The person asked the question about the teachers, because the prison is a microcosm of the outside community, as Minister U.E.P. Newton said. Prison is a microcosm of the outside community. So so in other words, it's more intensified what's going down inside there. You know what I'm saying? And you should have a past reference to my teachers. A lot of times people start asking questions when they heard a certain sector of society. You know what I'm saying? Like Richard Pryor say, white people come through our community and black people have needles in their arms snorting dope, and that's a shame. They say their son can't abort, it's an epidemic. Now people want to think we got people who like about marijuana cases. Now, you know what I'm saying? Now they want to get their marijuana license, not going to talk about this here. Get this ID number, you know what I'm saying? Study these cases, you know what I'm saying? Get some background and resources. Give me the ID number and name one more time, brother. Yeah, one more time. Yeah, where you at? Yeah. Seize the time. Because people's political pores are open right now. Go ahead.
I say my name Roger Sims Bay, N32707. I'm at 2500, you understand me, Route 99, you know what I'm saying, South, Mount Sterling, Illinois, 62353, you know what I'm saying? And anybody want to reach out towards me?
I hope they're writing this down. Let's seize the time. Let's make this. The connection from the inside to the outside. You know what I'm saying? Black Panther Party said information is raw material for new ideas. Information is raw material for new ideas. Making a case study on the case he's talking about, the UUW. This ain't nothing new. That people talking about the teachers. This got history right here. So make sure. I hope the question wrote that down to make that question. But go ahead, give us a little bit more while we got you online, bro.
Okay, but this one I wanted you to give me some information, Chairman, because see, you was speaking to me the last time I was talking to you about the machine.
Yes.
And I wanted to know what was because I had other people that was interested and they wanted to log on to the website and things that, you know what I'm saying, make the connection as well.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because they're going through the same adversity that I'm going through.
Yes. I was struggling about structure. We was having a discussion about structure. Now, a lot of times people get involved in struggle one of three ways: inspiration, aspiration, and desperation. I get 100 calls every morning. People say, man, somehow my son got killed. The police, they can relate to it then. And I was talking to I say, listen, man, give me one person that we can organize. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? So the deal is, he turns more than me black. You know what I'm saying? A lot of cats, they like Michael Jackson said, it'll make a difference if you black or white. When he caught that case, his song changed. They don't care about us. You know what I'm saying? And I was struggling about a machine. I say, the structure, say, listen, we need some consistency on, you know what I'm saying, people even before I hit you, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times people say, a lot of guys tell me, I don't hear that stuff Chairman talking about. Then when he hit that ass, all of a sudden become conscious. We had to have a structure. You know what I'm saying? We have that. That's what I said, one person, one contact. So the difference between a war and a revolution. A war is two occupying armies. They suit up and they boot up and get out. Revolution, you gain the minds and participation of the masses of people. You know what I'm saying? When the U.S. was going into Iraq, the first thing Saddam Hussein said was bust them prison doors down. They said he knew. He said it's too many resources in there. We got resources in there. So I'm saying we have to have a structure. I ain't saying everybody got to throw the same clothes on, be in uniform. I'm saying some points of unity, man. Like you say, like the code of culture. Code of culture means there are too many of us in sing for catching to my bling bling. Artists have to start putting something in their songs about, you know what I'm saying, about what's going on in the struggle. You know what I'm saying? Code of conduct. Cats on the streets. There's certain points you gotta have. You know what I'm saying? We have the Harriet Tubman Code. I mean, anybody that come up out of them camps reach back for others. So that's some point of unity with the struggle. Ain't no neutrons in this war. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to do the struggle. Oh, you gonna have something to do with it. You gonna lay your motherfucking ass down. You gonna get out. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. So some point of unity with the struggle. That's what I was struggling. And I said, listen, man. Find somebody for me. He's like, man, I ain't got no. I said, no, find somebody can play some point of unity to the struggle. I don't care if it's your sister, your auntie, whatever. Did this here. In the 60s, it was a climate. You couldn't even have a conversation with a sister. You know what I'm saying? You're talking about some type of revolutionary act. The devil disciples said, we now the black disciples. Due to political education, you see them cheering for black at the party. You know what I'm saying? It was some point of unity with the struggle. You know what I'm saying? One no, well, I don't get involved in the political stuff. It wasn't no cats fighting to get nobody on the football field. The athletes were saying, how can we support the movement? It was a connection from those held captive to the outside community. You know what I'm saying? Man, Field Marshal George Jackson. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you Asada Shakur, when she was on the run, the streets had spray paint up there. Asada, you welcome, you could come hide here. You had a climate with children. A matter of fact, a police said in Cabrini Green, he said, a 3-year-old child said, Pig, what you doing over here? It was a climate. James Brown wasn't talking about singing that song, I'm Black and I'm Proud. He had a whole totally different song playing at first. What makes you, why do you think he said I'm Black and I'm Proud?
The climate.
Climate, it was people like H. Rob Brown. I know it's man Jimmy Lamine that drove down and told you better take that garbage back in the motherfucking studio. Mm-hmm. He came back out saying I'm Black and I'm Proud. He could have pulled that shit he pulled in that Rocky movie with them red, white, and blue jaws from Living in America. Mm-hmm. Why y'all think Kanye West said what he said about George Bush not liking black people? Think he had a vision? Think Kim Kardashian said something to him? I'm tell you what God love. North side of Chicago, Borders Bookstore, $8 for what happened. We had a discussion with him. You know what I'm saying?
Pardon the body 1 second. Hey, pardon the body 1 second, Jim. I just want you to give me the information that you had spoke about when last time we talked. You said we got a machine and you just have somebody look it up online. What was the information that you gave me then? That's what I want right now.
See, this is my brother. He wants some cliff notes. You know what I'm saying? So ain't no cliff notes in Cub class. You know what I'm saying? Now, you know what I'm saying? And the lady, see, a lot of cats, they talk to me. They say, man, get straight to the chase. I let a whole bunch of stuff right there. You know what I'm saying? Okay, they can go to SaveTheHamptonHouse.org. I told you I want the people to tune in to Freedom on Radio. Right now, we doing what it's called free. Man, a lot of people be involved in struggle, don't even know they're involved in it. It's called Freedom on Radio. Free, and we intentionally spell it incorrectly. We don't speak the Queen's English intentionally. FREEEMALL radio. When you talk to your people, say Google it today's date and put up. And you call back and say, damn, guess who was on there? Right. It's called Freedom already. See, the movement. You can't tell all the cats. When we organized the Triad Truce on 54th and Austin, I didn't tell them cats. The brother just called a minute ago, Brother Bible, them cats was making bets saying, man, ain't no way possible. I got them. Let's start coming. I didn't bring no bunch of books to them. I'm telling you about Freedom on Radio. Believe me, when you find out about it, you listen to today's episode, your auntie listened to it, your sister listened to it, she was like, man, she was like, brother, do you know who that show be talking about? It's, man, for you know what the breakfast program, for you know what you're supporting it, you endorsing it, you condoning it, next thing you know, we're turning it over to the people. That's revolution. A lot of organizations, a lot of people get involved. You know what I'm saying? Believe me, we're involving as we speak. That's what I'm talking about.
You said it's freedom on the radio.
Freedom all. No, it's freedom all. FREEEMALL. Freedom all. Not free them, freedom all radio. That's how we greet each other. Freedom all.
Okay, freedom all.
Yes.
Radio.
Yes.
And that's where they tune in at, right?
No doubt about it.
Okay.
Is that, and tell them to pull up today's June 29th episode and listen to it all. Tell them pull up June 29th episode.
June 29th episode.
The episode for today's date. And then call you back and tell what they yep.
Episode.
And then
Hold on. You moving at a speed call line.
I gotta move fast and organized, man.
June 29th episode.
Yeah.
2020.
Yeah.
Okay. Freedom all.
Yes.
And put that in the internet or
Yep.
Okay.
Tell them, and say, listen to June 20th episode, and then tell them, say, what's unique, what's special about that episode?
And then you say what's special.
Ask them to tell you what's special about that episode.
Ask them to
Tell them go on YouTube and type in Freedom on Radio June 29th and say what's special, what's unique about that, and you know what I'm saying, what stands about that episode. Why he kept on stressing that episode.
Ask the question, and they will give me a favorable response.
You gonna learn. We hiding the contradictions. A lot of people, you know, a lot of people want us to give them straight, you know what I'm saying, straight answers. We gonna say when you go back, they're gonna put some work in. You know what I'm saying? Put some skin in the game. Ask them to go listen to it, and then see what they tell you about what's special about it. Then we go from there. People tell me I want to become a Panther Cub.
See, this is the thing, Chip, because I had told my sister what you said, right?
Yeah.
And I ain't making no, making no excuse, but she got lupus.
Yes, okay. I got you. I understand. Okay, okay. No, I ain't trying to cut you off. I feel you. I got you. So this we gonna work with it. You know what I'm saying? Let it. You know what I'm saying? Just check out this episode. Check this episode out. You know what I'm saying? On one of them days, right. And we gonna take it from there. You know what I'm saying? We gonna take it from there.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Gratitude, so it's a blessing.
Man. Love you, man. Keep let them know. Keep the head up in there, man. I said I love and respect, man. Tell me, Fred Jr. Hey, man, say, Tupac say, holler if you hear me, y'all holler. We hear y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? We got Cassandra Greer they taking water right now up in Stateville and Menard. You know what I'm saying? We just came down from Logan Women's Prison doing protest, so and we keeping that connection going. So we ain't forgot y'all, man. Real talk.
Yes, sir. Okay,
and we gonna get them, and somebody gonna get some letters to y'all too. I said, hope the person asked that question. Hope they wrote it. Replay this episode and get his ID number and all that. So you know what I'm saying? You want that correspondence going to him. To ask him, use this case for a case study.
Right. You talking to me or somebody else, Chad?
I'm talking to you. I'm talking to the people. I'm talking to you. You know what I'm saying? Man.
Okay, but look, you want me to state want me to put my case number out there too?
They get them to do skin in the game. I want them to correspond with you to get the real skin in the game, but they can pull it up. You don't put it out there. It's online. They can pull it up too, though.
Okay.
Go ahead.
The case number is 09CR16827.
Okay. All right, y'all. Y'all get some homework. Educational ethic. You know what I'm saying? I see people going to school to them. You know what I'm saying? They get all these degrees. Chairman Fraser gave more degrees than thermometer. Can't walk and chew gum at the same time. We got some real homework for cats. Go do this, study this here. You know what I'm saying? The case law. You know what I'm saying? We got real deal situations here.
Exactly. Ain't no question. Ain't no doubt. But yeah, but you said you ain't heard nothing on the resentencing bill that's supposed to be came into effect in April this year.
I haven't heard no updates on it. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, this election, we should yesterday. In our time, this prime time to push it because what's the update? Because them cats.
The bill is 3215.
Yeah, yeah.
Reset thing, but they taking the Class X off the table. You know what I'm saying? And with the Class X being taken off the table, everything revert down to a Class 1 felony. With 4 to 15, you know what I'm saying? I got that time in, I'll be able to pop right out if it's good law. You see what I'm saying? I want our callers to commit to help me with this here. Help us follow through, correspond, and check into that. So next week I need somebody to call in and give us an update on that. You know what I'm saying? Okay, the resentencing bill. I need. Let's put some skin in the game, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Let's put some. I'm saying, like we say, okay, man, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the PayPal. I'm saying put some skin in the game. I'm saying put some resources and work. I need people to work on this checking into this. What our brother just pointed out, this case, this resentencing bill, and give us an update next Wednesday when they come in. That's again, I reiterate, that's what we need. We need that. We need people to go do it, make it a case. A case study. Check up on that. So next Wednesday, go check back in with us. We should have some updates. It's a blessing, sir. Hey, matter of fact, look, I had tried to go around the block too and touch down with Bun, little sister Angie. I had gave her your number and told her to call you on my behalf to step up when my sister felt lame. You feel?
Okay.
And I don't know if she utilized the number or not.
She may have. She may. You know what I'm saying? Don't charge to the heart. You know what I'm saying? She may. If she missed me, tell her try me again. I may have missed it. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I think about damn octopuses.
I know you got a lot going on. Ain't no doubt.
We gonna this my addiction to the people. Yeah.
I said, but listen, go ahead and continue handling your affairs, son. I got to go ahead and get in the shower before the lockup time, man. It's, it's a blessing to hear your voice, man. Stay strong, man. The real man.
Real power people, man. I love you, man. We're gonna keep on handling our business. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna keep on handling our business for us, man. I love you, brother.
I love you too.
Yes, sir. Free 'em all.
Yes, sir.
The caller has hung up.
Sister Stamps, you were saying you had
Yes.
you've been an educator?
Yes, I've been an educator for 25 years. And what I want to say is, as a teacher that has exclusively taught Black children in poor communities, the lack of Black teachers is at critical mass. Chicago Public School is still 80% students of color. That's Black and Latinx. The teaching population for Black teachers is less than 20. It's about 21%. So I shouldn't say less than, about 21%. Down about 19% since they started school closures and all these other tactics to basically get Black women from in front of Black children. So if you talk about arming teachers, please understand that in the yet to be United States of America, you are talking about arming specifically white women with weapons who are teaching predominantly Black children. Do you understand how dangerous that is? So the moment that teacher says, I am threatened by him, she now has a weapon and license to use it. So if you think arming teachers is a good thing, please understand this, that in the yet to be United States of America, the majority of the people who are in front of our children, Black children, I don't care if they're in Mississippi, New York, Chicago, California, the majority of the teaching staff is white, while the majority of those students are still Black and brown. It's a very dangerous environment. And if the police, who didn't even protect babies that were brown in that building less than a month ago, who was on duty and had bulletproof vests and everything else they need, did not protect 19 brown children, what do you think is going to happen if you give weapons to teachers? Bad idea. First thing that's going to happen, some white teacher's going to say she got threatened by your Black son and took up arms. That is what I predict would happen if you allow teachers to have guns in schools. That's my philosophy.
Everything is political, including the gun.
Everything is political, and politics is personal. So please understand that every personal decision, every personal thing you enjoy, there is a political decision behind it. Do not allow this country to trick you into thinking if we arm, they won't even allow the damn teachers to teach the truth of America. They didn't skillfully, this country's so diabolical and the people so stupid. They've allowed America to engage in a conversation where they have basically excised parts of actual American history from the doctrine and say, you can't teach it. You don't think this country on a collision course with itself? You cannot even teach slavery in states. You will be arrested. You can have your license taken. You can have parents write letters that get you fired if you talk about slavery, if you talk about the civil rights movement. That is happening right now in this country.
They say they can't. They call it critical race theory.
Critical race theory.
But they told me they can arm them. You can get a gun, but you can't.
But you can't teach the history of the gun used against Black folks. And the fact that this country has been allowed to create a name, critical race theory, that basically separates the experience of Black people in this country from the rest of what's happening in this country, which you can't separate what happened to America from Black people. Black people made America. Black people built America. Okay, I got emotional. I'm about to get a headache. Okay, let me calm all the way down. Let me calm all the way down. Look, I'm on a leave. I will get a headache in a minute. I get passionate. I get intense. As particularly, you know, my mama had her movement, but my movement has always been education. And what is happening in these classrooms, baby, black folks better they better wake up. I can see I'm trying to not curse. Black people, let me tell you something. They are conditioning your children even as we speak to be a working class. America has been since the NAFTA agreement. I'm gonna let the chairman take y'all back that far. He said ain't no cliff notes in club class. Ain't no look, but since the NAFTA agreement, he'll get y'all wired up. In Tara's opinion, let me preface this: America has been trying to figure out how to create China-like conditions in America. This is why you're having class warfare. That's why you're having labor warfare against capitalist industries. What Amazon has been able to do, what Walmart has been able to do is diabolical, right? Howsoever, what America did, in Tara's opinion, is woke up one morning and said, oh damn, we done sent all our company overseas. Now we ain't got no place for our own kids to work. So America no longer builds anything. America no longer makes anything. But what America does have is an endless supply of Negroes. And where do they have black people? In prisons, in school, and on medicine. What is their industries? Prisons, school, medicine. Follow the money. Prison, school, medicine. That's why it was a big push to privatize public education and to charter schools. And to my mama, bringing it back full circle, beware of the voucher. When the voucher system didn't take over, they had to recreate, restructure, reset, reframe that conversation so that you can create private school environments using public school dollars into charter schools. Do you know one of the biggest industries behind charter schools are companies out of Turkey? Do you think Turkey got really real interest in what happened to the black kids in the city of Chicago? No. But they trick us out. Oh my God, they're gonna give you computers, they're gonna give you this, they're gonna give you that. Please understand, black mamas. Charter schools are not your friend. Penalizing and having penal practices in school does not make a quality education. Y'all like, ooh, they make them wear uniform. Don't you understand that is a habit of mine to make your child wear uniform? Okay, I'm getting emotional. Let me just say this. In Chicago public schools, in 2022, only 21% of the teaching staff is black. 80% of the student population is black and brown. We, black people, are the only ethnic group of people on the planet that would allow their oppressor to educate their children, that would willingly turn your children over to your oppressor. White folks wouldn't do it. I couldn't go get a job at an all-white school right now, and I got 3 degrees and a specialist in language arts. I couldn't go over there with a white school now. They'd be like, oh no. But we welcome them, guys. Beware of what they're saying. Don't fall for the okie doke. Get inside those schools. Know who in front of your children. And listen, you better take a note out like the Jews. I know what I know because Marion Stamps was my mama. I know what I know because Marion Stamps was my mama. So that meant I went to regular school and then I went to Saturday school where I did the Black Pledge, where I learned Black history. Stop expecting the public school to teach your child what they need to know about themselves. Jews don't expect that. They send them to the synagogue. They send them to their own school. Italians don't expect that. Stop expecting that. Make your child. Okay, so listen. In my heart, I am a teacher. I am a teacher. I am an educator. And if you all don't get in those classrooms right now, if y'all sleep on this, if y'all not telling y'all babies to go to school and become teachers, making sure that we come out and have a teaching force, what you are saying is from pre-K to college, that it is okay for your child to have an entire educational experience and never have a black teacher. Never have a black teacher. Let that sink in. Last little fact that y'all may not know, since he alluded to the Holocaust earlier. Do you know when they got ready to kick the Jews right before, the great cleansing? The only way that white people, educators, was able to come from Europe is that they taught at HBCUs. that they taught at HBCUs. Do you know the only country that allowed Jews to come over without all those papers was Trinidad? Not Trinidad. It was an island country. Only one that let them come over. So listen, we got work to do, and it's gonna be starting in those schools. Y'all better get in there this fall and see you in front of y'all kids. All right, so that was my. That was
Right
my.
on.
Thank you, sister.
That was my.
Hey, live and direct, y'all. Make history, taking some tape history, y'all. Again, y'all. Hey, y'all stay locked and loaded. I think we got time. One more question. Hey, we came in late, but quality time outweigh quantity time. You know what I'm saying?
We good on it if you good on it, or we can take one
Okay. Push my luck in it. We're gonna do what it do though. Yep. Okay. Go. I don't know much juice got here, but man, right on the powerful information. Okay. Ray Starks in the building. I see you, man. Shout out to the cigar. I'm coming through that too. Give me that address, Ray Starks. Shout you out to the cigar line. Levante, you that good question. I'm gonna ask that brother. Thank y'all. Pleasure meeting y'all. Okay, right on. Respect. Right on. Give me Levante. Get that address. Remind me. I'm gonna ask the brother Sims Bay about the what particular unit locked him up. The good question. And Styles, give me this. Where you at? Come. We're gonna do a chairman and cigar shop. This time we're gonna take this conversation to the cigar bars, the barber shop, everything, man. Real talk. With that other, can you hear me? The clubhouse, y'all still there? He might got, brother. You might got to come back. The scholars, y'all still in the building? Yeah, I know we done lost Blog Talk. We still on Blog Talk?
Oh, we here.
Okay, Blog Talk still on. Man, we moving and grooving.
I've been trying to read Neely Fuller Jr. to book about how to produce justice against white supremacy. What do you think of his perspective?
Take me back and give me more specific in regards to what specific position you talking about that he spoke about.
Neely Fuller Jr.
I'm familiar.
Book he wrote about a compensatory counter-racist code, and he's laying out a code to go against white supremacy and the 9 activities of non-white people. That includes Black Americans. So as far as trying to get on code for us Black Americans getting on code with each other, they don't have to be on the same. They don't have to understand his message about how to produce justice against white supremacy, as long as they have an understanding how to practice it as far as thought, speak, and action as an individual or as a collective. That's what Neely Fuller has written a book about to help Black Americans understand. And he himself admitted that everything that every action or reaction he has had to white supremacy has been a pitiful result, a pitiful act, a pitiful reaction. Yeah. If that man can recognize that him himself have a reaction as pitiful as a human being, then that tells me that Black Americans need to read his book so they can get the right understanding of how white supremacy attacked them 24/7 in all 9 activities of their day-to-day life. Thank you kindly.
Thank you. I think we got to be really, and I don't want to sound pessimistic. When we talk about, first of all, let me say right on. We definitely code and structure is something about, any community, in particular those who, that are oppressed, that you need to have a structure, a code. And one of America's policies is to create chaos and then restore order. Again, create chaos and then restore order. So I think it's something that has been done in tandem in regards to code, and still battle, but don't beat ourselves up saying it's something that, because in most cases, we talk about, because as individuals, we doomed. As individuals, we are doomed. And the deal is you have to be, you have to we need every time this system smells any organized with us, the attack comes down. And a lot of times we beat ourselves up and say, man, look how we ain't came nowhere. But we got to keep in mind, it's a constant, continuous counterinsurgency, constant attack on our people. You know what I'm saying? So the code, we can't. I don't think we can say like, let's eat right. Then we do this, do that. All this. A lot of times people say, I'm gonna get involved in the struggle once I get through I do my family issues or my relationship issues. We have to intertwine this with our life, you know what I'm saying? And also recognize certain limitations. Because not until we set ourselves up to become demoralized, we come say, okay, we're going to come out. Like in Chicago, these are not even gangs. You know what I'm saying? These, I mean, cliques at the most. You know what I'm saying? It's reactionary. Like cats relate to certain blocks they on. And as opposed to, used to have cats who relate to a certain ideology. You know what I'm saying? So they believe in this ideology. So a setback related to a block is because the state is in power, they can move you, they can relocate you. So you say your lease may be the 56th Street, now you're on 95th Street, as opposed to ideology. So we have to come in, and it's embarrassing being oppressed. It's embarrassing. So a lot of times we try to jive ourselves about it. So we have to come in, we have to keep that in the conversation. Say, okay, well, when we make certain moves, we talk about the code. Sometimes people start talking, I'll be like, I said, what do you think? Are you clear we're on a plantation, right? You know what I'm saying? And that's important, not to be pessimistic, but to put it in context. Because a lot of times we start saying stuff, and you know what I'm saying? A lot of times people be reactionary. We're going to do this, do that, you know what I'm saying? Everything that, like people say, well, the white people stick together, you know what I'm saying? Or the Mexicano community stick together. You have to put it in context. The dynamics, you know what I'm saying? Again, with the black community, like, this young brother said it best. He said, Chairman, why can the Mexicano community ride around the flags doing Cinco de Mayo, you know what I'm saying, with the Mexicano flags? And you know what I'm saying, because black we don't stick together. And the little brother said it best. He said, man, they'll kick our ass. I said, that's the first step. Let's acknowledge that. That if we roll around, it's a reason why people don't know about the flag that Marcus Garvey brought us. It's a reason. So we have to put that out there. It's a reason why if we talk about a code, we could this blanket attack or this gang activity, so on and so forth. It's a reason why Tupac say in school we don't never talk about Malcolm X, we say Dr. King, and they give us a watered down version of him. So one of the system's Achilles heels is, you know what I'm saying, to say that, to say, look, I know why we don't know, I know why we have a code amongst us on our own, like, whether it's on our manhood, our womanhood, our childhood, our humanity, to say certain things that we don't do, you know what I'm saying, is because, like I just told a brother the other day, he was riding with the flag in Chicago. He had the flag, he had the American flag though. He had the red, white, black, and green American flag. I say, man, why you got that? He said, huh? I say, look at the Mexicano, the Puerto Ricans around with the Puerto Rican flag, the Mexicano flag. I say, man, August 17th, Marcus Garvey birthday, man, with the red, the black, and the green. You know what I'm saying? And to identify what we want that flag, I want that, and the Cub flag flying through this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So we have to acknowledge that independence. You know what I'm saying? August 17th, we pushing for Marcus Garvey Day. Yeah. All over this motherfucker. August 17th. And we want unmolested, uncut down, no shake on it, no mix on it, raw, red, black, and green. You know, I ain't talking about mean nothing else. Blood, people, and land. Blood, people, and land. You know what I'm saying? And so that opens the door for the code. You know what I'm saying? African pledge. Before I say it. You know what I'm saying? When I get on, before I speak, I pledge these my African people. I pledge to develop my mind and my body to the greatest extent possible. I will learn all I can with my best, my people, and I struggle with liberation through revolution. I'll keep myself. I can't believe that. I'll keep myself physically fit. Building a strong body. Hold on, man. That's why I'm supposed to African pledge like this here. You know what I'm saying? I'm supposed to know that. But the African pledge. I pledge these African people. I pledge to develop my mind and my body to the greatest extent possible. I will learn all that I can, do my best to my people, and I struggle with liberation through revolution. I will keep myself physically fit, building strong body, free from drugs and other substances which weaken me, make me less capable of protecting myself, my family, my brothers and sisters. I want to substitute my mind. I want to substitute my mind, my body. Moving too fast, y'all. I've been up 2 days. It's coming. But that African pledge, open the door to say. So let's commit to that. The red, black, and green, August 17th. Open the door for everyone know the pledge. You know what I'm saying? That conversation with you, we need to for the code. Let's up the ante. The sky's the limit. But again, let's come through very clear that anytime we start talking about something, I ain't talking about no red, black, green American flag. I see the Puerto Ricans with their flag. They made count with their flag. You know what I'm saying? Self-determination, y'all. We're going to cub on up out of here, y'all. It's been an honor, man.
Thank you. Is it some way to get a copy of that pledge?
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I'm typing up on this email. You how you want you email? You want to send it to you? I'm in fact, I'm gonna put it up on my Facebook page ASAP. On you on Facebook?
Yes, sir.
Fred Hampton. Make sure you get the right one on Facebook. From now, one of the comrades put it on my Facebook page ASAP.
Okay, thank you.
And I put it on Instagram also.
One more question for you, Chairman.
Okay, the battery better down this on this top. Yeah.
All right, so it was a question in the chat was how do they get in contact with the Black Panther Party in Detroit along with the Fred Hampton Gun Club?
What's your question again?
How do you get in contact with the Black Panther Party in Detroit and the Gun Club, Fred Hampton Gun Club?
I can't speak on that. I don't know. The Gun Club. Let me say this. I'm the chairman of the Black Panther Party Club. This is important. I'm glad to get this question in, man. I make it very clear. This is our logo right here. Our name. How they say in the streets, our word and our balls all we got. I'm coming from a city of structure, checks and balances, man. A lot of cats, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people can grab different names, throw, you know what I'm saying? And then when the contradictions happen, cats come back and say, well, man, some lady called me all day tomorrow. I donated to this and that, you know what I'm saying? You never seen me say that. You never seen us validate these, do what you talking about.
There you go.
I'm coming from structure, checks and balances. I'm Chairman Fred Hampton Jr., not because I look like I can talk, like I was held accountable. You know what I'm saying? Checks and balances. They say, okay, man, let's verify it. Let me say this real quick before this laptop die. We got these puppies at the Hampton House called the Hampton House Hounds. The dude came to get the puppy. He kept on grilling me about with a mother. They got papers. I said, no, our eyes ain't got no papers, motherfucker. They ain't on parole, none of that. What's happening? Ain't none of that shit. What's happening? I said, you want to see the mom and daddy? I said, here you go. I said, daddy, full-blooded cane Corso. That mama is German Rottweiler. He come on saying it's German or American. I said, man, how was your children's grandparents? He said, on the maternal side. He said, huh? How are your children's grandparents? He said he never met them. He never met his woman's mom and daddy. I'm trying to figure out how he knew one of the details for the dogs, but he, you know what I'm saying? He didn't know the lineage of his children. I'm trying to figure out when it comes to revolutionary organizations, the Black Panther Party. How cats don't have no checks and balances for it. That's what I'm trying to figure out. When cat go back, I know cats that where I come from, when they go back a bag of crack, they say, man, where this come from? Who work this is? I'm trying to figure out how cats can just throw names around like it's willy-nilly.
In other words, we ain't never heard of no Fred Hampton.
I ain't said we never heard of it. I'm telling you, I'm chairman from the Black Panther Party. Cuz, did this here. This man. Yeah. No, you ain't got this, man. When I told that brother was intention, I said, go back. I didn't tell him this was free on my radio. Right. Cats gotta stop breastfeeding and you lay it out. Listen, man. Where I come from, okay, man, you walk down, that's a disciple. That's a stone. Right. That's the Nation of Islam. That's the Black Panther Party. You know what I'm saying? Right. Now you on a sad track or man, because a lot of times, a lot of things are not questions, they're comments. Mm-hmm. You hear what you want to hear. Mm-hmm. See, I want to lose weight, right? But I hear what I want to hear. You feel what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm drinking more water. But so a lot of times, cats are like, what's easy? What can I do? You know what I'm saying? Like, so I can still do this and do. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. The party has people say, well, my mind, this and that. It's a definition for a Chevrolet. Now you driving a Volkswagen, your car get messed up. You go to AutoZone. You say, man, give me a forward piece, man. He said, no, man, I need you know this. You got you driving a Volkswagen. But the 4-piece might be a little more cheaper. You might do certain things, you know what I'm saying? That your votes, you say, if I stick this, I ain't got to get the expensive pieces they need. There's a criteria for the Black Panther. It's a definition for the Black Panther Party, man. You want to put on no other entity.
May I say something?
The Shia Muslims, the Sunni Muslims, yeah, please do.
Greetings.
Greetings.
As somebody who's gotten older, I put my time in for the last 28 years, inspired by all those who came before me. I give thanks because it has put me on a path to be able to see clearly and to be awake. And we have to be very careful in this time that we're in, because a decision got made by our parents, particularly our mothers, to save their sons. And for 40 something years, the movement has been dormant, and there's been no application of science and scientific response to how to liberate our people. So maybe after Dr. King, Malcolm X being the last upfront person that's been taken out by a historical enemy, we have been dormant. And folks have been trying to do different things in their own right as individual, as maybe a small group here and there. But when we add it up, we have been dormant, and we also been, I guess, agreeing to take some of the benefits that the enemy gives us to keep us silent. So what I've learned is that we have to get better at turning our backs on our enemy. That only by doing so, by doing what we need to do for us, and not a response to their action or their inaction.
So do you got a question for him, brother? No disrespect, but do you have a question? His time is limited, you heard?
Okay, go right ahead, brother. Enough.
No, I was asking.
Can I say something really quick?
Give him a close.
If you don't mind. If
Yeah, we gonna go ahead and close out. We gonna close out, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, we gonna close out, man. Like the chairman got things to do, y'all. So I was asking. I had questions.
Now, that's a copy. I wanted to ask something, but that's cool. Thank you.
No, that's all. We'll be good for the night, y'all. I appreciate y'all tuning in with Urban Scouts. Thanks, Chairman.
Appreciate y'all, Urban Scouts. See y'all, man, next week, same time, same station, man. Appreciate y'all. Saturday, 2:00, Madison, California. The wall across from the big old food giveaway going down. July 5th, a tour at the Hampton House. July 26th, tour at the Hampton House. August 30th, man, get a horse or something. Start coming. The Chairman Fred Street Party is going down. August 30th, the Chairman Fred Street Party, man. It's going down. It's called Free 'em All, y'all.
Again, free 'em all. Appreciate you, Chairman, and we'll be in soon, real soon.
Right on.
You got all those dates.
Come on.
Yes, sir. That's a wrap. If you tuned in tonight, make sure you help up at the top.